The guy who you hear in the beginning of the video talking to me in the background, he is my friend, and this comes right in to what we're talking about. He is in a legal battle with Google, none other than Google LLC, a patent battle where he is claiming that Google, through using certain location algorithms, is infringing on his patent from 2007 that patented an algorithm that Google is using, and he's in a lawsuit with Google. And I believe he will win because he has invented an algorithm that will revolutionize the internet. Blockchain has revolutionized the internet in a way, and more than a way, majorly revolutionized the internet. But the internet 2.0, what we have now, the search algorithms that Google uses, and all the excuses that Facebook and all the fucking oligarchs of the Silicon Valley and the big corporate technocracy that we're under, they use your personal data because for your benefit, you need it because it'll serve you better. My friend has invented an algorithm that will rank you and use everything you want from an algorithm and from a search, from a ranking, from anything that you need, the information you get without giving any personal information. Personalized data without a shred of personal information. You know what that means? That means that these psycho parasites will not be able to utilize your information anymore. And this case, I don't even know if they realize what's at stake in this case. They don't realize it yet because they're fucking obsessed with all these rituals of procedure and who has this and that, who can speak first, when you're obsessed with who can speak first and if you say this, what does it mean? Can we throw what does this thing mean for that? All this nonsense. But what my friend invented is an algorithm that ranks a URL or any other piece of information based on personal information, based on personal data, without giving any personal information away. They don't know anything about you personally, but they use something about you that you provide to rank search algorithms and information in such a way that you can't fake it. The SEO companies and all this stuff that now they're using for Google uses a certain algorithm that, how do you know if a website is important or what should come up first in the search? How many links link back to this website or to this entity? That shows the importance, and that's correct. But that can be manipulated with SEO manipulation and companies that will do it for you, link stuff to you. My friend invented something that is impervious to manipulation, and it's so organic and so the algorithm that ranks how important you are cannot be copied. You can't make yourself like you're important, but you're not really important. Now and it maintains the privacy and integrity of the public and the data. You can't fucking abuse data. You can't take your privacy. That is something, and my friend is actually in the federal circuit court, appeals court or whatever. I don't know if it's an appeals court. No, it's a regular federal court with Google. My friend, the guy in the video before, he is in a fight with Google, and I believe he won because he has the truth on his side. And he invented an algorithm in 2007 that Google is utilizing now in its Google Maps location history. And Google will pay millions. They will pay What is going on in the world? Literally. What's been going on lately? Not just this last year, 2 years, 100 years, 1,000 years. What's been going on with humanity since the Ice Age? The last 10, 12,000 years. What's happening with us? Are we part of nature? Are we separate? Are we the chosen people? Are we humans, human beings, the human race? Are we, what's going on here? Are we animals or are we not? Are we animals or are we God? What are we? I'm asking you a question. What are we? Are we animals or are we God? Well, we sort of look like animals. We have forward-facing eyes like apes. We have fingers. We have feet. We walk. We eat. We shit. And we kill. That sounds pretty carnivorous, omnivorous to me. That sounds like we're animals. But we think ahead and we can talk and we can communicate ideas. Animals communicate, but they communicate what's going on in the present moment. They can't communicate through time. We are godly. We can communicate past, present, and future. We can communicate. That makes us God. Are we God or are we animals? What are we? What's been going on the last 10,000 years? What's been going on? What's going on? We're building stuff. We're destroying ourselves. What are we doing? Very good question, which I'm about to answer. You know what we're doing? We're growing up into ourselves, into God. We are God. We are God. We are animals and we're God. It's not a dichotomy. It's a false dichotomy. We are animals. We are trees. We are flowers. We are grass. We are earth. We're made from earth. We have a soul. We're everything. We're the culmination of creation. We are God itself. That's what we are. And we are animals because God is not some separate being that created the universe. No. Separation is idolatry, avodah zarah. There is no separate. There is only unity. What unity? What's unity? What's unity? Unity is that there's nothing separate. There is no separate entity that made the world. The universe, certain more abstract energy of the universe created the universe, the visible universe that we see and that we feel and that we inhabit and that we benefit from. This is a creation and a manifestation of God. Yahweh. That's what we are. We are the proud handiwork of God himself, itself, because it's not a fucking male and it's not a female. It's a hermaphrodite. It is the combination of male and female. It is this trans stuff is the other side of what God is. Let's not even get into that. But that's what God is, and that's what we are, human beings. The reason why we feel so separate and so special is because we are special, but not separate. We are what all other creation is, but they don't know it yet. We are starting to get it. So we are almost the final product of what it means, the process of creation and reproduction, God itself. We are the final component of creation because we're starting to get to know what we are capable of and what we are. And the last 10,000 years has been the process of childhood to teenage years of humanity that we've been going from being completely animal and unconscious of who we are, what makes us who we are, what is nature, what is creation, what is God, and it's process of growing up, separating from mother and father, mother, earth, sun, Yahweh, the force of creation, to now we are separate. But the purpose of growing up is not to be separate, but to be independent and a new copy of the thing itself. But not separate. Recognize that it's a copy and that it contains within itself all the nature and all the components of the thing itself. But now we're standing alone and independent from our originator and our generator, and who our ancestors are, and what the forces that made us. Right now, the last few thousand years, we've been in this turbulent and turmoil of teenage years, being thrown out of the Garden of Eden and feeling separate and different and fighting each other, like Cain and Hevel, and killing and murdering and bloodshed and separation. But it's only the part of developing your own identity and knowing that your own identity is not separate, but it's just a new independent copy of the original. And that's what it means to be an adult and grow up. That you're not separate, you're just a copy, and the unity is the unity in abstraction, the unity of personality, and the unity that your nature is exactly the same as the seed and as the originator and the generator. This is what we've been going through the last few thousand years, and soon enough we will actually experience that and live like that. And there's much more to say about the history of the Sumerians and civilization, agriculture, farming, the sea peoples, the Bronze Age collapse, Egypt, Babylon, the mysteries, Kabbalah, science, religion, and everything else. That'll be later. For now, know that we are teenage gods at the precipice and in the stage of almost reaching adulthood, and we're about to reach adulthood. Cheers. Writing was invented by the Sumerians, it turns out. They used to see the hieroglyphics of the Egyptians, and they thought that the Egyptians invented writing. And then they discovered cuneiform, and the language that they interpreted was Akkadian, Babylonian. So they used to think that the Babylonians invented cuneiform and writing, but then they encountered this term, Sumer and Akkad, and they realized that there was a kingdom and civilization before Sargon, before the Babylonians, that invented the writing system. They didn't invent the writing system alone, they also pioneered the first cities, and Lagash and Ur and Uruk and all these ancient Sumerian cities were pioneered by a people that we don't know who they are. We don't know anything about them. We know the Akkadians and the Babylonians are Semitic people, and the Assyrians are Semitic, but we don't know who the Babylonians or who the Sumerians are. They're just a mystery people. And let me tell you who the Sumerians are. I don't know who they are, what they looked like racially, but I can tell you what their personality was like. There are three main personality types in the world, three main races. You have the Asians, the East Asians, you have the Africans, and you have the Europeans. And these are only 3 or 4 possible personality types. The fourth personality type is a very small percent of Jews have that, the original Israelites, and what I believe is the Sumerians, this type. Let me explain what the other 3 types are, and then you'll see what the fourth type is. The type of the original Israelites, which is Yutsar El, which is the Prince of God, the mirror of God and the representative of God within humanity. This is the ideal personality type that is the pioneer of civilization, and the destruction of this type is only a result of this type being too modest and too kind, and it's time for this type to rise up and stand up and show these psychopaths who are trying to rule the world what the highest and most sovereign and worthy of power, the type that's the most worthy of power, what the type is like. So let me start with the 3 personality types currently in the world, mainly in 3 races. You have the East Asians that are very giving and very collectivistic, but they're too collectivistic. They're lacking their sense of individuality and creativity, and that's what prevented them from coming up with the kind of discoveries that Europeans came up with. Africans have the opposite. Africans are completely individualistic, no sacrifice whatsoever, just individual, and their perception is also very uncreative and asking others what their ideas are instead of asking what from within, where the ideas come from. And you have the Europeans as a hybrid between them. They have this collectivistic nature of like self-sacrifice. Yeah, bring all the immigrants in. Let us, kindness, and the way they're controlling society today in the West. It's like, you can't be racist. You can't act like you're better, or you have certain advantages that you want to retain, or you gotta sacrifice yourself to others. All right. But they still have this individualistic sort of perception where you perceive reality as it is and come up with an internal mapping and picture of creative what nature really is, how to mimic nature, how to develop technology. And that's why the Europeans and their relatives have pioneered technology, the Greeks and the Romans, and before them the Hittites, and probably the Egyptians too. But we don't know. The Egyptians is a little bit wrapped in mystery, but these are 3 types. There's a 4th type, the opposite of the Africans, the opposite of the Europeans. Instead of having a self-sacrificing personality about like what the group wants, they have a very internal process of what do I want. But it's not the opposite of the Europeans, it's the opposite of the Chinese. Yes, it's the opposite of the Asians. No collectivism, and also no collectivist kind of ideas where like there's no individuality. There is individuality in perception and individuality in values. This is the 4th type, and this is what some of the original Israelites were, meaning some of the current Jews have some of the traits of the original Israelites, the 10 lost tribes of Israel that Sennacherib destroyed, the Assyrians destroyed, the northern kingdom. And I believe that the original Sumerians, the original bringers of light and civilization, and the inventors of language and of written language, of writing, the writing system, had this trait, and that's why they were destroyed by the Babylonians. They were so individualistic that they couldn't resist. They couldn't fight the Amorites and the original, warrior civilizations that were around them, the walled cities. They couldn't fight them properly because they were so empathetic and individualistic and modest. But this 4th type, this is the type that should be in charge and is the type that will help bring peace on earth, because their values come from within, from the individual, and the individual values are the most important, because the individual understands what freedom is and creation, and an individual is a copy of God. And also individual in individual in perception and individual in values. The double individualism. This is the fourth personality type. There's the Asians, the Europeans, and the Africans. Those are three types. The fourth type was the original Sumerians and some of the Israelites after the Bronze Age collapse. Those were the original builders of civilization, and that's why the myth of the Jews being the chosen people, the Israelites were the chosen people because they were chosen by God to be the representative and to be the bringers of light, to show what real civilization and freedom and love is like. And this is the secret of the last few thousand years, the last 10,000 years. Domestication of animals and creation and language and written language, it all comes from the fourth type, my type.
This week's parsha is Vaschanan, and Moses asks God to be able to go into the land of Israel, because God told him he can't. So he asked him, "Hey, maybe I can go in." And the Hebrew word he uses is, and what it describes it as Vaschanan, and say Ein Chinun. Rashi says Ein Chinun Elo Shun Bakasha. The term Vaschanan is, oh, do me a freebie. I don't deserve it maybe, but do it for me for free. The Badishever asks, what does it mean? A tzaddik, someone who's righteous, has a lot of reasons for God to help him, even if it's not for free. He deserves it. So, like, why would you ask God to give it to you for free? Like you say, no, I deserve it. You should give me Canaan because you should give me. I should be able to enter the land of Israel because I did all this. I helped all the Israelites come out of Egypt, and I did all this. Why do it for me? Do it for me because I deserve it. Why is he asking for a freebie? Because there are two ways of getting things. One is if it really needs to happen, and the other one is if maybe it shouldn't happen. How do you know? It's a very deep personality issue in your daily life. How do you know when something that you want is something that's good for you or not? So something that's good for you comes naturally. Your desire is natural, you want it, and then it seems like, it should happen. Then there's sometimes you want something and there's all kinds of difficulties and all kinds of, it doesn't seem like a natural thing. Some part of you might want it, but another part resists it. How do you know when something is something you should pursue versus something maybe you should question? Something that is really good for you will come the desire, and it might be difficult to execute, but focusing only on the desire of it, that part, if it's natural, if it's good for you, you won't have to like make yourself want it. Like it'll come, the desire will come by itself. Something that maybe is not good for you, you might have an instinct that you want it, but other parts of you will say no, maybe I shouldn't. And there's conflict, and that's when you know that it might not be the best thing for you. So, the Bardisheva says that Moses asked God to give him a freebie.
Because he only wanted to go into Israel if it's really good for him and it's really the best thing. If it's something that maybe is not the best, it's not something that should be pursued, then what's going on here? If it's not what's best for him and what's best for everyone else, because a righteous person is not just him personally, but does it benefit everybody and me, and is it for the general purpose, total purpose of everything is it fit into the big picture, then give it to me. Let me go into Israel. If not, then maybe, even though, you know, it says in the Talmud that, you know, righteous people, the entire world depends on them, and they have the right to have everything because they're just righteous. But don't give me this gift because you know, I did something else for you. Do I really get it for free? Because getting it for free means that it benefits everyone else if I have it, and it's something that I need, and that it's beneficial for me overall. Not just it's coming from some not the best place, just from some kind of desire. Because, you know, the God and the most important part of you, of a person, knows what's best for you completely. So things that come from other instincts that maybe oppose other instincts, then it gets confused, and then it's like you only are able to get it, and with a lot of difficulty, and things that are really good for you overall, and it's no contest, and that is a freebie. That comes, the desire for that, and even the execution can come much easier than things that are not so good for you. That's how you know things that you should pursue in life versus things that you should maybe not, or maybe not put all your energy in. Things that are a freebie, things that feels natural, and it comes by itself. And so Rabbi Hanina, the Badisha brings this, but Hanina, he was able to tell people, how does he know if something's going to happen? If tfilas shigura b'fiv, if the words are coming out of his mouth very easily, then he knows that's meant to happen, because things that are meant to happen are very natural and smooth, and that means that basically things that are meant to be, it's because that's the best benefit for everybody. And because it has a root in everybody, in what's beneficial for everybody, it comes natural, and you don't require fighting and extra work for it. And that's why Moses asked for a freebie, not because he deserves a freebie, but because a freebie is something that really, it's not just for him, it's for everybody else, and it's meant to happen. That's when you get a freebie. That's why you should always ask for something for free, not because you deserve something for free. You should always get freebies, but because a freebie means that you really deserve it, and it's really good for you long term, and it's good for every part of you and every part of everyone else.
מה העניין עם זה שבנות נזכרות בלוח השנה העברי רק בט"ו באב? נכון? לפני זה הם לא ידעו על קיומו של לוח השנה העברי, הם בכלל לא היו יהודיות, נכון? למה הם נזכרות בלוח השנה פתאום בט"ו באב? כי הם מקבלים מתנות, נכון? חברה שלה סיפרה לה, היא באה הביתה כמו שריף, נכנסת, בועטת בדלת. היום ט"ו באב? מה אתה קונה לי? כן, היום ט"ו באב? היום ט"ו באב? אם את יודעת מה היה התאריך העברי אתמול, אני קונה לך יחדה. מה זאת אומרת? היום ט"ו באב. אתמול וואן באב.
Hashem,
I'm with you guys. Shabbos is coming. A special Shabbos. Pushkina. Nana. Maria, Tzor Yishayinu Nekadmo Chonor V'Soido V'Zmihirois Nori Aloi L'chol L'chol Neramino L'Hashem L'chol L'chol Neramino L'Hashem Maria, Tzor Yishayinu Yirma Elohim Keichen Nachamu Ami Yemar Elohim Agedvach
Sorry.
We got some
Wait, they have to look.
precious real estate. Don't have to look anything.
Mati, I want one of you. Can I have? Mati's
freedom.
Anyone can stand behind me. It's not a big
It's fine. I'm taking a selfie.
Mati, yellow selfie.
To go. You'll crop it after.
Shalva Shalva Yarmenu It's like a twin, not like Chavirei. Beautiful.
Can you change it around the middle of the video?
No, you can't. Don't take the video to bungalow. Chaluno meikein b'meitav higoyon Ulai yachois amoni ve'yavyoy Ulai yirachem Ulai yachois amoni ve'yavyoy Ulai yirachem Ulai yachois amoni ve'yavyoy Ulai yachois amoni ve'yavyoy Ulai yirachem Na-da-da-da-ram Na-da-dee-da-da-da-ram Ya-da-da-dee-da-da-da-da-ram Oy-oy-nam Oy-oy-nam Yirachem Na-da-da-da-ram Na-da-dee-da-da-da-ram Ya-da-da-dee-da-da-da-ram Oy-oy-nam Oy-oy-nam Da-da-da B'meitav higoyon Achirachami Mishosei Elyoy Chaluno Meikein B'meitav Higoyoy Ulai Yechois Amoni Ve'yev. They perfected their algorithm so that you don't have misinformation anymore. No more misinformation, people. Now we got official Pravda source of information. We got the official truth. The Ministry of Truth is now serving you up, as 1984 predicted. The Google Ministry of Truth is now offering you up the official truth about anything you want to know about anything, okay? All right. Have a good weekend, guys. Without the Federal Reserve in 1913, we would not have World War I, World War II, Vietnam, and the Great Depression, and all the bloodshed and the economic collapse of the 20th century we would not have. It would not have happened without these psychopaths. They worked for 20 years, from the late 1800s till 1913, until they were able to fool Congress and the United States citizens enough so they can institute their scam bank, a copy of the Bank of 1694 of the Bank of England. We would never, for hundred years, Jackson, Thomas Jefferson, and all the great patriots of America resisted the Rothschilds, and they caused the Civil War as a punishment for America, to try to get America back into the control of the British. These people are evil, and they need to be known and pointed to and taken out of power, because such slaves and such psychopaths do not belong to control society, and they're doing that with their Federal Reserve. We must end the Fed. There was a movement started with Ron Paul in 2008 after Obama won the election. They started a movement to end the Fed, and the Rothschilds used the media to derail that organization and make it into like an Occupy Wall Street, like a kind of a rainbow liberal, movement. But that movement was first and foremost to end the Fed. End the Fed. Bring back this slogan, end the Fed, because this is what you'll see. If the end the Fed becomes the slogan of politics, you'll see massive changes, and they won't allow it to happen, but I'm gonna press for it. End the fucking Fed. This is the source of evil. I pointed it, and I'm telling you now. Do you hate the Democrats? Do you hate the Republicans? I have good news for you. If you end the Fed, you can end whichever party you're against. That party that you hate, you can end them by ending the Fed. So let's go. End the fucking Fed. End the Fed, I said. End it now. End the Fed, and you'll see I'm right. Hi, I'm here at this festival in Massachusetts called Unifier Festival, and the name Unifier is appropriate actually, because Spinoza unified the Eastern tradition and the Western tradition, the feminine Buddhism and Zen, yoga, and Jesus, love, turned the other cheek, unified that with the will to power from Machiavelli and Nietzsche, and unified that in like the spheres where you have Chesed, the Gvura, and the Tiferes is in the middle. Spinoza combines love and power. Both are necessary. Not pure love, where you destroy yourself, and not just power, just power for power's sake, and in this destructive sense, but a combination of both of them. Spinoza is the greatest Jew that ever lived. Probably, in my mind, he's the greatest philosopher that ever lived, and he was excommunicated. He left the community in his early 20s, and his first discipline was mathematics, and I just found out about him, about his philosophy, and I realized that all my thoughts in the last 10 years align with his thinking almost entirely, exactly. And I came to a similar conclusion about what God is and what the purpose of life is. I posted a video a few months ago, and now I'm reading Spinoza, and he said exactly the same thing. He was an introvert, and I'm an extrovert, but he was the mirror image of me. Like, he was in Myers-Briggs it would be an INTJ, and I'm an ESFP. But basically, his his moral philosophy was about happiness is the primary goal, and freedom is the ultimate way of organizing society and living life in a personal sense. The real freedom is when you set your life up in a way where your different instincts don't compete with each other but help each other out, and recognizing that your instincts are more powerful than you is ironically the best way to be free, because there is no real free will, because there are things that make you want certain things without your permission. They don't ask you this kind of stuff. So Spinoza is my favorite philosopher now, and he is responsible for the Enlightenment, and for Hegel, Kant. They all learned from him, and quietly he was excommunicated during his life, and quietly he became. They accepted his ideas, and it's really sad that he was excommunicated from his community, but he integrated all the stuff from Kabbalah about God and nature. He understood what it means, Hu Hamada, Hu Hayedeya, V'Hu Hayedua, better than the Rambam. He learned the Moreh Nevuchim, but he wasn't satisfied. The Rambam and Orthodox Jews repeat this thing about Hu Hamada, Hu Hayedeya, V'Hu Hayedua, but the only thing that makes sense is what Spinoza says about what God is and what nature is and what the universe is and what the purpose of life is. Anyway, ciao. Good morning. So this time, instead of going to Elements, a festival of 20,000 people and 4 stages, music and party, or going to PSF, an Orthodox Jewish festival, I decided I'm going to go to more of a spiritual, artistic festival where most people here are interested in spiritual growth and stewarding the land and permaculture and other things that interest me. So looks like it's going to be amazing. Yisrael Araisa Kushbricha Kul Echad is the answer to Hu Hamada, Hu Hayedeya, Hu Hayedua. That God is the knower, the known, and the knowledge. The key to the puzzle is the fact that God, people, and the rule of law that governs these two are one and the same, because God is the eternal past, present, and future sum total of all of nature. And any one of us is only a small part of it, but we're temporary, we're not eternal. And the purpose of life in the Torah is to become as close as possible to the rules that govern nature and eternity. And this way, we're able to live the best possible life and the most moral life. And this is what Spinoza figured out, that God, Yahweh is Hoya Hoy V'Ziyeh, and anything else, any part of nature is only a manifestation of God, but not God itself. And the morals and the ethics that he reached was exactly Hillel's ethics in the Torah. All the correct morals about power and love, Spinoza derived from this understanding that Yisrael b'Raisa k'shuv kol echad and hu amada v'hu yedea v'hu yedua. This is the first thing I'm doing here at Unifier. I joined a class about a tree forest. A whole bunch of trees planting here. This is called a tree forest, where trees are planted the ideal distance from each other, so they grow the most efficient, most fruit production. Chestnut, persimmons, and papao, and at the Unifier Festival, you hear me out of breath. I just finished fixing some trees and planting some new ones, and these trees need to be cared for a lot in the beginning. Take away the weeds and making sure that you have, they're protected from animals and everything else. But once they're mature and they produce fruit, you don't have to care for them at all. They're on their own. Ki ha'adam eitz hasadeh. People are just like trees, and just like all other aspects of nature, trees especially. That's why the pasuk compares it to a tree, because it needs a lot of care in the beginning. It needs a lot of guidance, a lot of protection. But the purpose is not to keep protecting it and to keep it limited and keep it as an adult, keep it as a child, but to make sure that it becomes mature enough and it grows on its own, and then you don't need to care for it anymore, and then actually it provides you with fruits and sustenance, just the way your child that you actually train to become independent and become self-sufficient. When you grow older, it takes care of you. So this is it. coming Sunday, I'm going to talk about the Garden of Eden. The first story in the Bible after creation is humans being put in the Garden of Eden. Let's test it like this. Let's test it like this.
Let's test it like this. I don't think I like this. I like the first one.
The first story in the Bible after creation is about Adam being put in the Garden of Eden. The Bible, what are we? Who are we? Religion, it answers those questions. Science answers those questions. They are at odds. Why are they at odds? Who are we? Why are we here? What's our purpose? Why do we suffer? What are we? What is going on? Good morning. Who are we? What are we doing here? What is God? And what is our purpose? Good morning. Have you ever thought about who we are? What is it? Spinoza, 400 years ago, discovered that God is one. And all the separation and all the fragments. Good morning. Spinoza, many years ago, was the first Jew to discover what all the esoteric parts of all religions, Kabbalah, Gnosticism, and Kabbalah and alchemy, Gnosticism. Carl Gustav Jung explained that now I want to go out. Left hand, it's hard. Oh shit, I'm trying to get in. Oh shit. Alright.
A woman comes to me and says, Rabbi, why? I'm looking for a perfect man. I don't know who's laughing, but it's probably the women, right? I was right, thank you. I wanted to make sure I'm not senile. I'm looking for a perfect man, Rabbi, why? Can you help me find the perfect man? I say, listen, Einstein taught us that perfection is relative. The theory of relativity, what for one person is a perfect man, is for the other person a nightmare. You have to define to me a perfect man, and then I'll help you find him. She says, Rabbi, why in my world a perfect man is a man who wakes up 5 o'clock in the morning, makes his own bed, prepares his own breakfast, prepares his own lunch and dinner, cleans up after himself, surfs the web only 7 minutes a day. He's a responsible, accountable person, good manners, exercises daily, reads daily. And by the way, you always know where he is. There's no such a thing. He disappeared. He's not answering. He is predictable. He's reliable. He's consistent. His location is always known to his wife. He doesn't see his wife as a slave. He does his own laundry. And finally, he's in bed at 9 o'clock p.m. This is a perfect man. You think I could find him? I said, of course. She says, where? I said, in prison.
Gay marriage passed, which is a good thing, but I don't like this idea that it's like this crazy progressive thing because the government's still involved. I think progress would be getting the government out of marriage completely. Just let people love who they want, how they want, without having to go through this weird labyrinth of... But there was no state that was talking about that except for one. You know what it was? Oklahoma. Oklahoma had a representative who proposed a total marriage ban statewide just so gay people could never get married, which is insane, but hilarious, because that means Oklahoma accidentally homophobed its way into radical progressive thinking. By far the most advanced discussion on the subject, and it was driven by bigotry. I wish I were at that meeting to see what other ideas were proposed, see what other radically progressive ideas they can come up with that were fueled by hatred, you know? The guy's like, you know what we gotta do? We ban marriage altogether. That way them homos can never participate. Everyone's minds are blown, like they're rethinking everything. Another guy stands up like, you know what else we gotta do? We gotta dissolve our currency. Set up what's called a resource-based economy, establish a more egalitarian distribution of wealth. This will make the pursuit of individual wealth an unnecessary and irrelevant endeavor, which will help end the tyranny of nepotism as well as the virtual monopolies of corporations. This will slowly deprogram the state and corporate-backed propaganda that rots our minds and poisons our souls, which will restore the complexion of our cultural and individual psychology to where one's self-identity is no longer linked to the market value of his commercial function, but rather to the spontaneous actualization of his human desires. There would be no need for laws because the guiding principles of society would arise organically as the unwritten negotiations between our communal needs. This would render the very idea of a central government fundamentally absurd. It would help eradicate the farcical existence of campaign politics altogether. We would watch the traditional socio-economic hierarchy crumble as we entered into a stable, harmonious relationship with Mother Nature. And in that way, we'll never have to worry about our country being run by a bunch of goddamn Jews. The whole time it's because they hate Jews.
Pro-choice always made sense to me because I don't like people telling me what to do. And I always just like, it's your body. Who the fuck am I to tell you what to do with your body? So that always made sense, all right? However, I still think you're killing a baby. See? That's where it gets weird. It's not a baby yet. That's what they say, which may or may not be true. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. But I'll tell you, my gut tells me that doesn't make sense. It's not a baby yet. That would be like if I was making a cake and I poured some batter in a pan and I put it in the oven, and then 5 minutes later you came by and you grabbed the pan, you threw it across the floor, and I went, what the fuck? You just ruined my birthday cake. And then you were like, well, that wasn't a cake yet. It's like, well, it would have been. If you didn't do what you just did, there would have been a cake in 50 minutes. Something happened to that cake, you cake murdering son of a bitch. Right?
Jordan Peterson has a playlist called The Psychological Significance of the Biblical Stories. Very insightful lecture series, 12 of them, I think. Anyway, I think there's one major point that I want to add to it that I think he missed. Is that the central theme of the Bible, of the J author, Genesis and Exodus, is birth and adulthood. The theme of the story is how to go from childhood to adulthood in a psychological sense, in a whole way where you don't fall for narcissist traps and all other challenges of childhood and adulthood. That is the central theme of the Bible, and that's what Kabbalah is all about. That's what Kabbalah is the philosopher's stone to unlock the mystery of the Bible. The Bible, instead of going into all these 20 hours of 30 hours of lectures of Peterson, if you understand this part, you don't need it. You don't need to go any too much deeper. Every story in the Bible, in Genesis and Exodus, can be interpreted as a lesson in childhood to adulthood. Who are we? Who made us? What is he? What does he want? Who are we? What is our purpose? Who made us? What does he want from us? Those are the questions religions have attempted to answer. And if you ask a religious person, they have the answer for you. If you ask a modern person who's influenced by the scientific method, who are we? What is our purpose? What is the world? What is God? These are the questions that we seek answers to, and religions have given us some answers. A little inadequate if you ask the scientific man and the scientist, who are we? Who made us? And why? What is our purpose?